DepEd K12 Basic Education Curriculum Guide to Reading and Writing Skills. Core subject for senior high school, grade 11 or grade 12. No prerequisite. First or second semester. 80 hours per semester. Content 1. Reading and thinking strategies across text types. A. Text as connected discourse. B. Techniques in selecting and organizing information. C. Patterns of development. D. Properties of a well-written text. Content standard. The student realizes that information in a written text may be selected and organized to achieve a particular purpose. Performance standard. The student critiques a chosen sample of each pattern of development, focusing on information selection, organization, and development. Learning competencies. 1. The student describes a written text as connected discourse. 2. The student distinguishes between and among techniques in selecting and organizing information, such as A. Brainstorming list. B. Graphic organizer. C. Topic outline and D. Sentence outline. 3. The student distinguishes between and among patterns of development in writing across disciplines, such as A. Narration. B. Description. C. Definition. D. Exemplification or classification. E. Comparison and contrast. F. Cause and effect. G. Problem solution and H. Persuasion. 4. The student identifies properties of a well-written text, such as A. Organization. B. Coherence and cohesion. C. Language use and D. Mechanics. Content 2. Text and context connections or critical reading. A. Critical reading is looking for ways of thinking. 1. Explicit and implicit claims in a text. 2. Context of text development. B. Critical reading is reasoning. 1. Formulating evaluative statements. 2. Determining textual evidence. Content standard. The student understands the relationship of a written text and the context in which it was developed. Performance standard. The student writes a 1,000-word critique of a selected text on the basis of its claims, context, and properties as a written material. Learning competencies. 1. The student explains critical reading as looking for ways of thinking. 2. The student identifies claims explicitly or implicitly made in a written text, such as A. Claim of fact. B. Claim of policy, and C. Claim of value. 3. The student identifies the context in which a text was developed, such as A. Hypertext, and B. Intertext. 4. The student explains critical reading as reasoning. 5. The student formulates evaluative statements about a text read, such as A. Assertions about the content and properties of a text read, and B. Meaningful counterclaims in response to claims made in a text read. 6. The student determines textual evidence to validate assertions and counterclaims made about a text read. Content 3. Purposeful writing in the disciplines and for professions. Content standard. The student understands the requirements of composing academic writing in professional correspondence. Performance standard. The student produces each type of academic writing and professional correspondence following the properties of well-written texts and process approach to writing. Learning competencies. 1. The student explains how one's purpose is a crucial consideration in academic and professional writing. 2. The student identifies the unique features of and requirements in composing texts that are useful across disciplines, such as A. Book review or article critique. B. Literature review. C. Research report. D. Project proposal, and E. Position paper. 3. The student identifies the unique features of and requirements in composing professional correspondence, such as A. Resume. B. Application for college admission. C. Application for employment, and D. Various forms of office correspondence.